Hello and welcome back to Connect to the Deck Tarot. My name is Jane and this is a different channel from my other two channels. One being Life Path Number Tarot, where I do your weekly life path number readings, and also Pisces channel because I am Pisces and I do weeklies there as well. Now this one is all about the tools that I use and going further into it. Now for some of you who just like flip-throughs, I have those. For those of you who like a little more about the tools and how to use them, I'm going to share with you how I use them, the things that I like to do to get more out of them, okay? Especially on a personal level. I use these for readings, but I also like to use them on myself when I have the time. And I'm taking the time because I love these things. They're, especially if the creators put a lot of work and a lot of how do I say this, thought and effort in healing and empowering words in tools that they've created, I have to share it. So this oracle is one of those. It's Monty Farbo and Amy Zerner. They're a couple. She does collages, obviously. Actually, the borders, I found out from reading the book, is that it's her mother who did ink borders, and I guess they transferred it to the cards. So all these borders were done by her mom, which is amazing, okay? So that's the other part. Read the book. Read the tools that were sent to you. I'm very guilty of receiving cards, just flipping through the cards, flipping through what the meanings are, you know, when I need to. But I rarely spend any time in the beginning or in the back. And some of you might be like listening to this and go, oh, I always read everything. Well, you're better than I am. I don't do it for every single deck, but I do have over 200 decks in my collection, and I use them regularly on my channels. So this sometimes is the reason why. But I'm hoping to change this. So what I did is I actually sat down and read this book. Not the whole thing. I didn't read every meaning because I want to keep that as well as a little bit of a surprise, right? You don't want to know it by heart. And anyway, there is no way I would learn every single book I have here by heart. But I did want to get a little bit more about it. I got about the authors. I got some information on that they really want to empower you. So I highlighted some things here that I thought that were meaningful to me and that I want to share with you. And this part is in the introduction, and it says the cards of the Intuition Oracle can be used to answer a question anytime. Receive a daily message regarding what specific concept you should get special attention, and can also be used as a 1 card a week course where you work on a concept for 7 days. And that one really interests me. I'm in the process right now of slowing down a lot of things. It's not that I do less. I think I do more. How do I put this? I do more with what I have. I don't think it's less. I just do more mindful things with what I'm doing, okay, if that makes any sense. The cards have art on the front and words of advice on the back. Both art and words can be used to prime the pump of your intuition and decision-making abilities. They can also point out a block to conscious awareness and growth that might be difficult for you to see if unaided by this tool. I like that. And then let's continue. There's another part that was in here. It says, we have created the Intuition Oracle to be sort of a sacred machine device to respond to your question and freeze your answer as a picture that you can decipher. I really like that. The next part is, each time we consult an oracle, we go on a vision quest. We are finding our vision of the future. Also a very nice way of putting it. These cards in this book can be consulted whenever clarity on an issue is needed, as an everyday spiritual practice by picking 1 card each day and thinking about its message as you live your life, or as a full year course using one of the 52 intuition oracles as a theme to be meditated on for a whole week. And I like that too. So, using these cards can be an incredible aid for accessing a conscious focus to overcome worry, confusion, negativity, and fear. When you use your intuition oracle cards, they help to regenerate and refuel you. The right thought can activate specific powers to promote healthy, creative decisions and actions. I think by far that is one of my favorite paragraphs in this book. I like any tool that offers that kind of help. Okay, it's not giving you the answers, it's empowering you and keeping you on the path of positivity, finding solutions to your problems, which I find is the best thing that you could do. Okay, so let me see here if I have, yeah. Okay, so now it's saying prepare yourself to ask your question. And they say the most important thing is to calm down. And once you've decided what you want to ask, it's important that you become completely detached from any expectations you might have about the intuition oracle might tell you. You have to calm yourself down to the point that all you want from the oracle is the truth, not just the answer that you would like to hear. The following are a couple of simple calming techniques. Calming technique 1. The best way to calm yourself is to close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and think the word out as you breathe, and then in as you breathe in. And I've done this for just calming, for just regulating blood pressure, for the beginning of any meditation. I've done this. To even go to sleep at night, I've done this. Calming technique 2. If calming technique 1 doesn't work for you, find yourself very attached to your answer, or you're upset for any reason, then try this ancient technique for getting in touch with your spiritual essence. 1. As you breathe slowly and calmly, realize that you are not your name. You are a soul traveling onward, and say that to yourself 3 times. I love this. You're not your name, you're soul traveling onwards. Say that to yourself 3 times. 2. Then realize that you're not what you do for a living. You are a soul traveling onwards, and say that to yourself 3 times. You are not what you do for a living. You are a soul traveling onwards, and say that to yourself 3 times. 3. Then realize that you're not what your senses are telling you every second, and say that to yourself 3 times. That you're not what your senses are telling you every second, and say that to yourself. So it says, then when you're finished, you should be very calm and ready to ask your cards your question. Okay, so let's see what else I have here. I don't know if I have, oh yes. It says, the oracle has been purposely designed to give you the message you need to hear, not necessarily the one you want to hear. I felt the need to, again, point that out, because sometimes we go, especially when you're pulling cards for yourself, you're kind of hoping for the best card possible. And sometimes the cards will pull a message, and trust me, even if the same cards do not come out, usually the same message that you need to hear will be coming out. So you can't get away from it. In some cases, especially with tarot, I've said, no, I don't want that card, and then I shuffle and out it comes again. So it refuses to let me change the outcome, right? It refuses to tell me that this is a game of chance. This is a game of you asked a question and we're giving you the answer, and even if you don't like it, then that's your problem, right? I like that. A gentle reminder says, remember the answer that you get is your answer to your question and no one else's. When and if you ever feel like using the oracle in the presence of others, you will be amazed at how often the same answer means something different to practically every other person reading it. And that also brings me to the point where I learned this a while ago. I didn't know how to voice it per se, but I never felt comfortable reading in other people's stuff, because it's like visiting them in a shower when you haven't been invited. You know, it's putting your energy, it's putting yourself in their space when they didn't ask you to. So when I do readings for people, I always say, if you're going to ask me a question, ask about yourself. Ask if you're dealing with the situation properly with this person. Make yourself the center of attention, okay? So I like that. And they kind of allude to it here. If there's one thing I'm sure of in this world is that our free will is stronger than anything. If you get an answer that you do not like or agree with, one that denies what you know with all your heart to be true, accept the challenge to alter your fate. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, I'm saying that it can be done. Ask the Oracle for advice on what you can do to try and unfold the way things seem to be going for you. They will do their best to help you if you will do your best to put their advice into practice. Just getting an answer is not enough. Taking the actions indicated by that answer will almost certainly help you do this. Now, I didn't put any markings at the end, and yes, I do, because this is my book, right? And anyway, I think that even if I were to give it or gift it or, you know, rehome it, I think I like those passages, and I'd like people to read them, right? Because I feel they're one of my favorite passages here. So let's see here. You have energy exercises, and they talk about the power of compassion and forgiveness, which I love. And they also talk about forgiveness exercises and dealing with self-doubt, fear, and insecurity, which is something that if you do any kind of energy work, you will deal with as you go along. So I have an empty book here, just in case I want to write anything down. I may not, but this is just to show you that I would have something on hand, because sometimes messages or things will come through as you are looking at an oracle card, and you may not remember it. You may not remember because sometimes it has the ability to come in so quickly that you're just not sure. Okay, so how do you pick the card? I'm the kind of person who likes jumpers, but you could also fan them out. And they mention closing your eyes, and when you feel the energy, pick the one. They also say about splitting the deck or cutting the deck. You can cut 2 and 3, pick the card at the top. You can shuffle the cards, pick the one that jumps out, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to calm myself. I don't have a specific question because to tell you the truth, I'm doing a lot right now. And I am not in I don't want a yes, am I going to be successful or not? Because right now I'm in the groove of I am successful no matter what happens, because I am on this journey of evolving and moving forward. So I don't want to ask that question, but I will ask whatever advice that they would love to bring forward for me, and I will tell you what I'm picking up from the image. Now, there's a few cards in this deck that have really, look at this. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. If you look at the flip through with me, I actually stop and show you this card a little more because this planet really grabbed my eye. And this is the one that came out. I'm so happy because I had the idea that if you're going to do also like a look through, or you want to take one card and do a study of it for a week, I would say I'd even go as far as picking a card that really talks to you. Like this one is extra beautiful. I would do this one as well, the Contortionist. And really just do a study on it. It wouldn't be really more of a message. It could be more of a study of what it makes me feel, how it brings it out of me, right? Because I don't feel I'm a contortionist. I feel that's somebody who's trying to really just, I don't know, please everybody, you know. But, yeah. I would highly suggest that if there are certain cards in here that really like artwork, right? Because this is artwork, like this one. If it really speaks to you and you really want to do an intense study of it, to just pick it up and then do it. To me, there's a Harlequin here. It reminds me of the Harlequin, and I have a special kind of, I get this special feeling with a Harlequin. It's really just, it attaches to something very emotional, very tender inside of me. So I know that this is what is attracting me to it. So I might actually do that as well. And if you guys want to see a video of going in depth with this, like this, doing a study of the card, please let me know, and I will actually, I may actually do that. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I need more of you to subscribe. I need for this to become a little bigger community. So in order for me to be able to do lives and maybe just, you know, do memberships and stuff, which would be cool. All right, so right away when I saw the word reputable, it resonated with me completely. And I'm going to tell you why. When I came on YouTube, and I'm sorry for the camera shaking, I'm going to bring it a little closer in. Okay. When I started on YouTube doing this, I remember I was sitting on the fence for the longest time. And the reason was this. I did not want to do readings where I was telling people, oh, throw him out or love him and stuff like that. I wanted to do readings to tell people how to empower them. But a lot of the readers that I was seeing was all about drama. And of course, drama sells. I mean, look at the papers, look at all the news outlets. The catchier the title, the more the dramatic thing, the more it sells, right? But I'm not here for a quick buck. I'm not here to do, I want to do the work. And of course, it is nice to be paid for it, okay? Because you want to spend your time doing it, but you need the funds to continue doing it. That's for everybody, right? You want to work your passion, but you need a little bit of compensation for it. But I never wanted to get to the part where it was just about making a ton of money and not really being reputable in the things that I did. And as soon as I saw this, the reputable, I thought to myself, this is what I'm feeling right away. I live my life as if my guardian angels are watching over me, and it's true. 34 for me is the number of assessment. It's number 7. It's about the momentum and drive, but it's also about the 7 of Pentacles. It's about assessing. It's about trial and error. It's about feedback, editing. Always, always editing to see what else you can do, how better you can do it. The 7 of Wands is about challenging, perseverance, even when doing things, believing in yourself and defending what you know to be right or what you feel to be right. The 7 of Swords is also protecting yourself from deception, from thievery, from being undermined, right? And the 7 of Cups is about the many choices and sometimes really working and having a hard time making the right choice. So right away when I look at this card, I feel that. I feel that this planet is talking about expansion, most certainly, and we've been dealing a lot with expansion. I don't know, this could for me feel like guardian angels, ancestors, people who have come before, who are looking down on you. You got the wings of transformation, but they could also be wings of angels. And I feel like they're looking down, assessing, looking, wondering what's happening, okay? The best thing you can do at this point as well is, I got the biggest reaction from the word reputable, because it's reputation. I want my reputation. My biggest goal is that I want to be remembered as the person who shared some reputable things, who was always looking to improve for yourself and for others. My apologies, it's my alarm. So, I really love this. I think that's, it really suits what I was looking for, and it really speaks to me of what I am looking for, right? So let's read a little bit of what it says. I live my life as my guardian angels are watching over me. The art of the matter. So they're talking about the art. 2 marvelously attired figures stand side by side, looking at the scene taking place outside the frame of this image. They are lost in an animated conversation about this event, to the point where they are ignoring the approach of the wondrous planet Saturn. Some symbol of time, patience, discipline, and their reward. Saturn also represents the law of karma. Like Sir Isaac Newton's third law of motion states that every action there's an equal reaction. Okay, so I thought Jupiter, but I was wrong. This is Saturn, and Saturn happens to be my planet. I'm pretty sure, is it Saturn? Let me check. It's Pisces, Saturn. I feel like it is. Pisces planet. Let's just look. I'm really not good. So, but this is also something, okay, that you can take a look. It's Neptune. Okay. Who's Saturn? Planet of Saturn for which sign? Capricorn. Oh, I'm a Capricorn moon. So that makes a lot of sense. I knew somehow this planet I felt connected to. So that makes a lot of sense. And it also answers a lot of the rewards, the discipline. I was told that having a Capricorn moon meant that I was going to be very committed to succeeding in my life. And that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so Saturn also represents the law of karma, which, like Sir Isaac Newton's third law of motion, states that for every action there's an equal reaction. It is a law that applies to planets, rocket ships, and people. Today we say what goes around comes around, or what you do comes back to you. So I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to share what's coming in with that. I was just speaking to my mother-in-law and reminded her today, because she goes to see people who read for her. And these people read, and they give, like, predict things that are going to be coming in. This reader has even predicted my mother-in-law's husband dying, okay, which was her second husband. And I told her that I was speaking, and if you guys were on my other channel, if you're not new, you know I've spoken of this before. The reason I don't want to do that kind of stuff is I was talking to this lady, and she told me everything that had been predicted by this lady. She had predicted that her daughter would drop out of the school that she had paid for, that somebody would break a finger, and that somebody very young, a child that she knew, would die around her. And I told her, I said, and all of that happened? She goes, yes. And she goes, it was amazing. She knew that these things would happen. I said, my question to you is this. I said, did you pay to get bad news in advance that you could do nothing about? And she just kind of looked at me. I said, think about it for a minute. You paid how much? She said, 100 and some. I said, okay. And this person predicted all these things, but with not really too many specifics for you to know. She hadn't predicted that her daughter was going to drop out of school. She predicted that somebody would, that one of her kids, she had 2 or 3, would drop out of school, and that would not follow. So she didn't know which one was going to do it. She didn't know which kid was going to break a finger. It ended up being one of the kids, and there was a child that did die, but she hadn't mentioned who it was. So I said, you got somebody, you paid somebody to give you news of things that were going to happen without actually being able to change anything. So the only thing that was proven, you paid for somebody to prove to you that she could read or see the future, but still you were unable to do anything about it. And she said, I guess I did. And I said, wouldn't you rather have somebody give you advice or give you some energetic kind of cosmic, spiritual empowerment so that you could make better decisions, so that you could look deep within yourself and find your blocks and unblock yourself, something that you could work with? Which is absolutely. And I said, see, I don't want to prove to you that I can pull a rabbit out of a hat. I said, because anybody who's gifted can hone in on that skill. Yes, it is an exercise in practice, and you can become very and fairly good at it. Some have made a living being quite not that great at it either. But What does it mean? Exactly what they said here. Okay? Exactly what they said. What goes around comes around. What you do comes back to you. I want to be somebody who helps people. I don't want to be somebody who gives them bad news that they can't fix. I don't want to spend my life making people worry about things that either they won't be able to change or won't change on time or won't have enough information. Why would I want to cause grief to anybody? So that's absolutely true. When I read this card, I feel it. What goes around comes around. And I'm not saying that makes me better. I'm not saying that what other people are doing is wrong. I probably have an opinion that it's wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is. It's just that for myself, as a reader, I do not want to engage in that kind of thing. Doesn't interest me. Never did. Right from the beginning. I wanted to pull beautiful cards, give beautiful messages, even when the news or the energy wasn't great. Even when you're going to have a crap week. I wanted Spirit to give you a leg up, to help you out in your time of need. Not to say, I told you were going to have a bad week, right? Exactly. So let's continue with the art, A-R-T, of the matter. These two are no idle gossips. The butterfly wings on their backs are indication that they are angels and speak only the truth. Oh, look at that. And I said that. They are guardian angels, and their job is to observe their precious chosen ones so they may see what they can do to help. Some of the things they see make their job easier, but many things make their eyes grow wide with wonder. Things that seem important to their earthly charges seem most curious and dubious value to them. They are the very spirit of compassion, as their cheerful demeanor attests, and they observe without judgment. And I'm going to stop there again, because my guides absolutely are without judgment. I know that some people say, my guardian angels probably got one hand on their forehead going, oh my God, okay? But I find that guardian angels don't live on this realm. And they may not fully understand why we put so much importance, because they're not here in the bodies with us. Those are for our physical partners or physical people that are with us to understand with us, because they're on this journey with us. Their job is to observe and to try to help you and guide you a little bit and make it easier for you, because to them, they don't suffer from this physical stuff. All they see is the big grand plan that you've made for yourself. And I always feel that from them. I feel like they don't judge me at all. I feel, to tell you the truth, some of the little things that drives me nuts, they probably couldn't care less. Okay? So, yeah. Okay, so the guardian angels have, for their own amusement, adopted the garb of courtiers in the palace of the ancient Middle East. The purple leaves in the sky around them are the good actions they would like us to perform to create a purple aura of protection around us. Oh, it's so beautiful. Here on earth, those who observe us usually judge us with harshness born of their own displeasure with aspects of their personality. The sketchy border of the scene is like the sketchy ideas and fantasies gossip strayed with each other about who we are and what we are doing and why. And when they are malicious in intent, nothing can do will change their ways. However, that does not remove our responsibility to do our best to ensure that our reputation is an asset, not a liability. The pagodas in the border are symbolic of palace life, the crucible in which the fire of the ruler's action sets into motion, the politics of the advisors, nobles, and courtesans. The seat of any government or company is often a place where one's reputation can sometimes be more important than one's actual accomplishments. Now, it's the heart of the matter, which is inside, within. It's very important for you to establish a reputation for being someone others can rely on. You must do everything you can to make sure that what is said about you by those who matter to you is favorable to your reputation. The best way to ensure your reputation is to make sure your actions are in keeping with your highest ideals. You cannot do more than that. Act as if you are being watched by your guardian angels. You must avoid doing anything you would not want them to see. Reputation can also refer to status, social graces, manner of dress, and financial resources. You must examine how much power, status, wealth, and reputation figures into your question. If you're having trouble with a person because of either of your reputations, use your intuition to help make very clear to you what is true and what is false. You can count on the fact that what you have done, good or bad, is going to come back to you in regard to the question you have asked. And I've always been very, very aware of that. Now, for the other part that I can feel from this is that maybe I worry a little too much about this. Okay? This could also be the card of I'm always thinking to myself, I have to put myself so far above. I can't be human. I have to have a fantastic reputation. I cannot falter in any way, shape, or form. And for the part of that, I feel for myself is that I have to give myself a break. I am living on this planet as a human being, and sometimes I am going to falter. I'm here to learn. I'm here to experience. I'm a life path number 5, which means I receive a lot of guidance, and then I teach that. But I have to have a flexibility in learning and teaching, and also adapting what I'm learning and teaching, because traditions and things are always changing. People are changing, the times change, and with it needs to be flexible. And most of the time we're flexible with people, but we're not always flexible with ourselves. Now, what I could do is write all of the stuff. As I've been talking, I could just take it and write it. What I would do, if I were you, is I would put the oracle in which you took from. If you have more than one oracle, I would write the intuition oracle right here. Then I would write the number and the affirmation, okay, so that I know which card. I would also write the date. If you're into journaling and you want to remember when you put this down, please put the date so that you can look back on it and see where you were and what kind of message. And then I would continue with everything that I just mentioned through this video about myself, but for you, right? The card that you pull and what came out from it. Now I'm going to take a closer look at this and what else I can see from it. There are clouds. There's butterflies here. There is the moon. There's some buildings, some greenery, some ducks. And if you really look in the background of the card, look at this. These beautiful foliage. And this purple color is gorgeous. You also have the moon here again being shown. And some flowers. Beautiful flowers. These collages are very, very beautiful. You almost see an indication of an orange. Are they sitting on a universal celestial body? Or is this the sun? Or is this the moon? Or is this another version of the planet? Who knows? But there is a lot that you can look, and you can actually even just meditate on the card if you want. The colors, the bodies, the variations of everything here that it's showing, to get yourself into some more deeper meanings, maybe hidden ones, right? So absolutely, I've connected very intently with this card. If you want, you could even just draw maybe a little bit of the card or the components that meant something to you. For me, Saturn meant a lot, and I could write Capricorn beside it because I'm a Capricorn moon, to remind myself that I connected to this card because of this planet sitting on it. It's a great idea to just keep writing everything. Write until you exhaust everything, where you feel that you have looked and studied every single thing about the card at hand. As I said, if you want to, you can take the entire week, or you can just do it for a day and do another one next week. There's really no rules, but this is kind of like a guide to help you and to see what else you can do. Now, some of us like to pair these, and there's another deck from these people, Amy Zerner and Monty Farber, and it is the Enchanted Dream Tarot. And as you can see, They are very similar in the way. So they make an excellent pairing. They actually make an excellent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull a card for this one for myself out of this deck. Please give me a card that matches. And I have the High Priestess. So I feel it actually is fantastic. I feel that they're saying, because this for me means a lot, I have two guides that are with me at all times. I feel that this card is to indicate me on the planet, them watching over me, and you can almost see it. See? Because I do a lot of intuitive work, so in some cases I would be the High Priestess. I have a lot of inner wisdom, a lot of intuition. I'm very receptive spiritually. So it's just saying that they're keeping an eye on me, and to keep trusting my intuition, and to keep seeking answers within myself. And that should help me a lot going forward. So if you're pairing these, they're great. You can have other decks that you can pair it with. I probably would pair it with the Magical Nordic Tarot by Jane. I think her name is Jane Wallace. I like that as well. It would probably be a very good match. Let me see if I can just pull a few cards out for you to show you. And it's just simply because I really like them as well. And this would be the one, Jane Wallace. Okay, and if you look, especially with these, you have a little bit of the kind of that same energy. Okay, see the Lovers very much. The King of Swords. Okay, the colors are very, I don't know, they feel very much similar in the way that they come out. Let's see if I can find the Chariot. Very animated, very colorful. The Hangman. See? So I think these would pair very well with this tarot deck. Let's see if I can find another one that would really pair well as an oracle meaning. Okay, let me take a look here, because that was a tarot deck. And Jane Wallace has 3 different decks that I have. The Crystal Power, and I also have the Angel Tarot. Let me see, what else would go really well with this one? Maybe, not sure, but we'll give it a shot. The Mystical Moments, the Oracle of Mystical Moments, it has a lot of that kind of, I don't know. It's got its own vibe. So I think that this would probably be also a very good deck. It's not really the same, but it's got that its own funky type of beautiful, colorful way, right? I've recently received a deck here, and I think it's called, let me see here if I can find it, the Golden Future, which are very brightly colored cards. Let's check if that one would pair well. I think it would. I honestly think it would. It's very colorful. It's very colorful. It's got a lot going on. So I think that these would also pair very nicely together. Okay? Yeah, I think that these would look very, very nice with each other. And this one is called the Golden Future. So, having said all of that, I hope that you've enjoyed this. I hope that it gave you some ideas on what to do. If you've been looking to just start journaling and pulling oracle cards weekly, I will also leave the link to this deck, because it truly is a beautiful deck, like I said. Like I said, if you want to know more about just doing an in-depth on the card, not for a message, just to look at the beauty of it, the imagery, how it makes you feel, let me know. And if you haven't seen the flip through, I would go ahead and look at the video beforehand, because that's where I did this flip through. I went through every card and showed how beautiful and gorgeous they are. Like I said, this is collage art. If you're not familiar with it, that's just putting all kinds of things together, materials, paper, cloth together to create an imagery. And it's truly beautiful. She's done this for many, many, many years, and the one thing that I did not mention that I will now is that her deck, this one, the Enchanted Dreams, their deck, was my very first deck. This is the very first deck that I bought, the first tarot deck. So it is my original. This is not. This is a separate copy that I bought for the channel. The colors are a little more vibrant and the cards are a little bit bigger, but I had the pocket one and I still have it. I keep it safe because it's gotten a lot of use and a little bit damaged, but I can't part with it, and I use this one on the channel every so often. So very brilliant, very beautiful deck, and I am going to let you go with that. Let me know what you thought of this video. I would love to hear from you. Like I said, as soon as I reach 100 on this channel, I think I might do a few lives, coffee and chat with all of you if you're interested in that, because I want to work with other light workers, people who love the decks, who are enjoying the decks. I really want to share some like-to-like energy with all of you. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.